It's Mike. Are we here?
Are we finally going?
Are we live?
It's 11 o'clock now. Welcome to Wingman's Hangar at right on time, 10 minutes after 11.
It wouldn't be a live show if it weren't
cattywampus.
Cattywampus. It's a little cattywampus.
We're cattywampus today. So if you're new to the show, this is kind of an inside look at everything Descendent Studios as we make ships that fight underground. Or otherwise known as Descent Underground.
Also known as Descent Underground.
So as you can see, the T-shirts have come in. We're gonna start, shirts. We're gonna start shipping the shirts. Shipping the shirts this week.
Say that 5 times.
I think we're gonna have some contests out there to see who can get the picture with the most people wearing shirts. And someone needs to crash the RSI party with Descendent Studios shirts. That's your mission. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, this is kind of inside look at everything that goes on during the week. It is a live show today, so.
Oh no.
Well, the thing is, we don't ever cut our mistakes out anyway.
That is a good point. Occasionally,
we leave them all in for the most part. We want to thank our new backers and those who have upgraded this week. Mike, do you have a scroll there?
Look, there we go.
At that.
In real time.
That is awesome. Look at that.
That's a lot of new backers.
That is a lot of new backers.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, and help us spread the word. We need thousands more people in here to shoot and kill.
To watch our hijinks.
To watch. I don't know about that, but at least to fly our ship. And speaking of flying our ship, we're doing that now.
We have flown our ships.
We have flown our ships inside the new map, which is kind of cool. So I don't know if we'll show a little bit of that. And thanks to Dracona and Lotherbot for helping us get the flight model right.
They did a great job.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Hey, maybe they'll see the new map on Design Underground on Monday.
You know, the thing is, we were supposed to be going to Denver today to actually see there's a Decenticon up there, and we were supposed to go, but apparently making the game is more important. we've got some deadlines.
I can see how that would be a good priority.
But we did send them the shirts, so they should have the shirts today,
awesome.
And we sent them an extra one that they can give away to the winner of the contest up there. So, hopefully they'll have
awesome.
fun. So coming up today, we have a week in review. We have this week's most valuable posts. We have a Build-A-Bot update. We have forum
feedback.
And we have a live interview, special guest this week with Ben Jones, director and co-founder of Fugitive Games. They're another Kickstarter project who did Into the Stars, and they're on Steam Early Access, and there's some big wigs that made things like Battlefield and some Medal of Honor stuff, and so they're pretty big stuff.
And now they going to space!
Don't know why they're coming on this lousy show, but they're gonna do it anyway.
If they had known, they might have opted out.
If they actually researched and thought and said, we're not going on that crap.
Oh, you're doing it live? No, we'll wait. It's okay.
It's too late. I've got him locked in on the machine right here. So as we said, this week we have T-shirts. They're going up. We sent out a Kickstarter update for people. Make sure your address is updated. Otherwise, your shirt's going somewhere else. And we don't have a lot of shirts. We did find a fulfillment partner though. Here in Austin, which is going to be really great for us for if we want to do coffee mugs or any other kind of stuff going forward.
Very important.
We do drink a lot of coffee.
We are fueled by coffee.
And thanks for Sinalaya for sending us the espresso machine and the Nespresso machine and all the coffee he keeps sending us. Multiplayer is up.
We actually played multiplayer.
We did. It's still not finished, but
there's some issues.
It's smooth and it shoots and it's fun. And well, I don't know if it's fun yet.
Smooth is also a little bit lacking.
Yeah,
we just relit it yesterday.
In certain areas, it's smooth.
Yeah. We rebaked the lighting yesterday, so it should be faster today.
So we finally got our vertical slice assembled, and now we've got a list of about 30 to 40 bugs that we're going to fix for the vertical slice.
What on
the
earth
hell is this?
Vertical slice.
Keith brought in a vertical slice.
Very vertical.
Yes. And as usual, that's actually looking really good.
And actually, worms?
Lots of bugs in the vertical slice.
Oh, I get it.
So we're going to be moving from the vertical slice to I guess from devil's food to angel food is the next thing as we clean up the thing and make it, This map is probably never going to ship, or maybe just for fun, right?
Yeah, maybe just to play around.
Seems small right now, doesn't it? Kind of bit. But it looks beautiful. It looks good. The artists, Josh and the guys upstairs, have done a really good job with that. So it's pretty good. That cake is not on my diet, by the way. But that is probably okay.
Just a smidge.
Oh man. Oh, son of a biscuit eater.
Hey, when do we do Wingman's Way?
That's skipping this week.
Before you eat the cake.
Yeah, that was all I get. I put a fingerprint in there. We have the bugs. We'll be working on the vertical slice. Rob, what have you been working on this week? Any ship stuff?
Oh, ship stats. Glorious ship stats.
Ship stats, glorious ship stats. What's going on with that?
Starting to make the ships feel a little bit more like they have distinct personalities in flight. There's been a lot of put some numbers down, try it out, try it again, try it again, try it again. And right now, they're starting to feel like the Wasp feels almost exactly like the Torch, but a little more sluggish.
You mean like the Torch? Oh, because so they're close and related.
Yeah, they're going to have the most similar flight models of all of them.
Typhoon's going to be a brute. Man.
Typhoon, it is made out of balsa wood, but it will kick your booty.
It's tough to avoid the spinning 3 shots of death coming at you in that thing.
Yeah, that one's going to be very popular, I suspect.
Tyler's not going to be allowed to fly that, I think.
No, he can fly the Goliath only.
We're going to give him the Goliath, the hauler.
That thing flies like a brick.
Like a pig, but it's still useful. So
oh yeah, it's powerful.
It's like in Thomas the Tank Engine. You're a really useful engine, Thomas. Yeah, I know.
I don't know where some of the things in your head come from.
Dude, neither do I. I don't think they come from the head. So you're working on ship stats, and we're going to get these to a certain point where we're okay with them, but we clearly know they're not done. And then we'll release them in Proving Grounds to you guys to play, and then we'll continue to adjust. This will probably be an ongoing thing as we move through, various releases of the game to where people can update it. So
yeah, ship stats are final. Never.
Oh, we had some visitors this week.
We did.
Mike, you want to show who came by and visit a little bit this week? Yeah, we had Xiphon and Bitwise. They got to visit, and they got to play some of the map. There's some of the, those are the mining blocks that are going away.
Oh, they're going away, but hey, they do break.
Wow, look at this. We're looking at the ceiling. That's some great B-roll footage.
That was awesome.
That's some camera work right there, boys.
That was live and uncut.
That was absolutely live and uncut.
Quality programming right here.
Those ceiling tiles are not in the game.
They could be.
They came by and visited. They got a glimpse, and we are hosting some visits, so you can hit up with Keith and see how that goes. And we let people come by and test it out. That's very important to us that we get you guys in there. If you backed us, there's no us without you. So that's part of our pledge to you guys is we
like to schedule these things though. Random.
Yeah, we don't want random drop-bys unless you bring booze, and then you're welcome.
In which case, come on in.
Yeah, in fact, if you're outside right now and you got a bottle of whiskey,
I'm on the show.
Yeah, bring it on the show. Let's take a look at this week's studio snapshot.
So we have that plus the modified movement.
Plus the modified physics.
Yeah. The D1 changing the acceleration rates.
Which is still a little glitchy in places. It needs some peer review. But on the whole, dude.
Yeah.
It's good.
For reference, this is the D1 level that she built and then ported into DU without textures, obviously.
Tom, I have new values for you that I think are pretty darn close to D1 additional acceleration values. I'm actually delighted because this is flying right. That's why I'm doing all this crazy stuff.
It looks great.
It looks great. It feels great.
Kicks me really hard in a funny direction. If I do this sometimes. Yeah, I hit the wall there.
Or maybe could it be the geometry of the ship?
I think it's something.
No. Oh yeah, you're not in the. We're in a bubble. You're in the bubble.
So what I'm doing is going back and forth between D1 and DU in the same map to see if I can feel the difference between the flight mixes. Right now I'm flying around in D1, and then I'll switch over to the same map in DU.
Too wide. I think they're too slow and small, and that makes
in a similar area. It feels so similar. It feels like really the same. I think they're there.
Well, yep, I respond.
Outside, apparently.
There's the level down there. I see you're in the dog room. Oh, now you're dead. Ooh, missiles are a little too slow. Oh, I can shoot through the gradient. In terms of what I saw in the engine itself, the weapons obviously haven't been tweaked at all. We need to tweak where are the weapons coming from.
It's on the list.
Why are they? How big are the shots? Right. How fast are the shots? Like the missiles still have that half-second drop delay. The firing rate on the weapons is not capped right now. You can just fire, and you're like rapid firing. So, there's a lot of stuff there that needs to be tweaked, but the framework is there to make it work right.
Typhoon, spins up, shoots stuff.
Hey, that's a tool too.
Yep.
Ow, 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 ow.
Die. There we go.
Well, let's see what the homing missile first edition looks like.
zeroed in on that one. Oh, missed it. Oh, but, oh! It's still going. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, it blew up out here somewhere. Oh, man.
All right, what is this, like the kaleidoscope level?
I was testing a build from our build system with a client against a separate server, so actually having the two processes running separately.
The external view of the kaleidoscope?
Uh-huh.
Yup. Yeah, you can see it going in the background there.
So that's we're hoping to get that into the VR, the Oculus Rift.
Not everything works the first time.
No, those homing missiles are hilarious. They're like circling around, like, you know.
You get some really good facial flybys there when they're coming close.
That's cool.
It's not quite right yet.
Should we take a look at some pics, some rough ideas?
Let's look at some art.
Rough ideas of perhaps some of the upcoming iceroid level. So there's the Elven Cave. Actually, not the Elven Cave.
Holy crystals, Batman.
Yeah, you know, Kaji is good. He does like his crystals, for sure.
He loves his crystals.
The floating crystals, the crystals of goodness. Now, one thing we'll have to remember, these are concept. Once we get in there and start flying around, you know, we won't have things sticking out of the floor to bump into, or many of those things.
Nice starting points.
Yeah, these are always starting points for us to get ideas for that. So those are some of the concepts. We also have a scoreboard concept, I think, to show, Michael.
Do we? We do.
Yeah, like this is what the scoreboard's going to look like.
Shouldn't those all say Design Autonomous? Just all the way down?
The ones at the bottom.
Yeah. I fell off the bottom. Yeah, that's what happened.
The ones at the very bottom.
Yeah, very, very, very bottom.
All right, you know, and I believe we need to know more about bots. So here's Keith McCormick with a bot update.
Keith Dunkelzaw McCormick here for the Descent Underground Build-A-Bot Challenge, where you have the chance to build a bot that goes into the game. This week, we've moved Stage 2 design into the semi-final round. We need you to go here and pick the finalists that the devs are going to review. They're setting the backstory for the bot. So we need as much help as we can get, and of course we need your feedback. So go here for information on the whole Build-A-Bot competition, because your participation earns you points. And whoever has the most points at the end of this challenge is winning that AMD 290X video card. So get on our forums, go to this link, because we need you in the Build-A-Bot challenge.
All right, good, cool stuff.
Thanks, Keith.
Yep, that's cool. Send us your backstory, ideas, and feedback. Get into the Build-A-Bot. We have multiple layers of the contest. If you're a lore guy, if you're a modeler, if you're a concept person, we want to support all of that stuff. And again, we're making this game with you guys involved. That's the whole purpose of doing. That's why we wanted to do this.
Come to the dark side.
Come to. Sometimes our map is pretty dark, to be fair.
Sometimes it's really light.
True. Shall we take a look at some ship models?
I think we should do that.
Let's step them through. Like, I think the first one's the auger. We'll show you where we started with some of the concept stuff.
This was our prettied up concept.
Prettied up concept for the auger, and we're still trying to figure out what we're doing with the arms here. And then we go. We'll take you a little further along. There we go.
It's in 3D. 3D. That's looking pretty.
It is looking pretty. Look at that thing.
Oh.
Now the auger does what, Rob? Since you're the auger man.
Mining expert.
Mining expert. This thing will drill.
Also, surprisingly, is not the most maneuverable, but it's got a good getaway speed. So it yaws very.
Top end
it
is
yaws
nice.
Very quickly, and it can move very fast. So
and it drills through
gets
walls.
Out of trouble well.
Drills through walls better than anybody else, and not only walls but also mines things more efficiently. Like they knock out the stuff on the wall or the crystals or whatever we have there.
You get more stuff.
You get more power ups out of it. So that's exactly right. So that's a very valuable piece of kit right there. Shall we take a look at the Predator?
Oh yes, we should.
Let's take it where we started there. Now, Predator's what? It's our fast ship, right?
It's our scout ship. Yes.
Yep. And this is early concept stuff. And now, why are the wings? Now tell people what the wings are for.
Okay, so the wings are where the guns are. But
we know that.
But it can go into what's called sprint mode.
Sprint mode,
which is basically gives you a boost in speed, but it also shrinks your ship, so you're harder to hit.
Your profile's smaller.
Now you can't shoot while you're in sprint mode. So unlike the Panzer, which can still shoot with its shield down, The Predator, when it's in sprint mode, is purely evasive.
So you're saying the Predator is like Sir Robin in Holy Grail.
It bravely ran away. Yes.
Oh, hail again, Sir Robin, Sir Robin. When danger reared his ugly head, Sir Robin turned around and fled.
Paint scheme there too. I like the rainbow colors. Okay, here we go. Now we're building pieces of it.
Yep. Showing pieces of how it's built. So our ships all have like 3 pieces essentially, or 4: the nose, the fuselage, the wings, and the tail. They're all put together like that. So early versions you're seeing are the base versions. Eventually, not right away. Eventually, we're going to have different wing configurations, different tail configurations. We'll build what's called a kit. So we'll come up with some sort of, let's just for the sake of argument, we'll say we're building a P-51 kit. So we'll then go for all the ships we'll build, wings, tails, noses, for everything else, and then we'll have that available for people to, if they feel like they want to make their stuff look like a P-51 or, you know, have that striping or whatever. That'll be coming forward. But first, we get the base done, get the flight right, get it playing correctly, and then we'll start doing the gussing up and making it pretty and things like that.
Game first, pretty second.
And by the way, we released a lot of those things in the Underground.
Yes, the Undergrounders got those sneak peeks earlier this week, and well, join.
If you're in the Underground, you get you get inside access, you get access to live design meetings,
which are always very
pretty
informative.
Cool. This is the marketing portion of the show. So essentially, the Underground is kind of a nice way of supporting development a little more, and it's $10 a month, or if you buy the whole year, it's much cheaper. It's probably going to be coming with Proving Grounds. I see that we're following the debate really well in the forums.
Very good discussion going on about that.
It is. There's some good stuff. It looks like we'll probably be adding it as part of that package. It seems to be the easiest way to do it, and we'll go from there. So if you like joining the Underground, great. You don't have to, certainly not, but if you want to support us, that's even more so than the average person. That's great too. And now, of course, what we need is more Keith. We need some more Keith.
Let's have another Keith moment.
Let's look at Keith with this week's Most Valuable Post.
Welcome to Most Valuable Post, where we celebrate someone who's made a positive contribution to the Descent Underground community. This week, we celebrate someone who started a really involved and interesting discussion about shield mechanics in the game. And since Descent Underground is very much an open development process, we love it when fans really get into the nitty-gritty and explore different facets of it. So congratulations, Mad. You're this week's Most Valuable Poster.
Oh, hey! And back to me! What? Back to me! What?
Eric's shuffling paper.
Yeah, it's time. Well, you know what time it is? What time is it, Michael?
It's time for forum feedback.
It is time for forum feedback.
It is time for forum feedback.
And the ghostly Morlan. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Mad One.
Yes.
Thank you for giving us your thoughts. So, from forum feedback, from Mike November, an Undergrounder. Will Descent Underground multiplayer be more like Battlefield Respawn after a while, or you're dead until the match ends like Counter-Strike style? That is, I think I read that completely wrong, but...
You got the gist of it, though.
I did?
It took a little while to build up speed, but you got there.
I was chugging along there.
So, basically, we're discussing
right.
having both available.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be a hardcore mode where it's one and done, but...
I know Phil's a big
part,
fan of that.
Yes. Oh, that's very...
So that's it. It's game type. That'll come down to game type. So we can do both of those, and we'll probably do both of those. And
for the start, I think it'll be Respawn.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Down the line.
Yeah, but that's because we want to balance things. Then we'll have a hardcore mode and let people play it that way. And when we rank things, that's going to give you a little more points. So, you know, to become the #1 Descent player in the world, you'll need to be able to probably play a little bit of that. I like it. From Vatum 5. Vatum 5! We'll be able to make custom content maps for the game using a map editor or a game editor. Yeah.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, using the Unreal Editor, which is already available to everyone for free. You can
Wingman bobblehead.
Already build. We will even be doing a design underground on how to build maps at some point.
And a bobblehead.
And a bobblehead.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. And the mod tools will eventually release a really robust system. But I think we're toying with the idea of right now releasing some sort of gray box situation and letting people create some maps at this point. But we'll let Keith come up with that later. I think he's going to be talking about, not today, but in the future, we'll be talking about how we're going to do that. But having Dracona and Lotherbot here and Elf last week, and their ability to make maps and why they made maps and how quickly they made maps, and it really, really energized us. We're thinking, well, why not let people in earlier? So, yes is the answer to that question. Soon.
That's a very roundabout way of saying yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't have to say maybe this time, though.
No, that's true.
We cannot say. We can never say maybe. Well, we will still say.
Well, we
maybe.
can say maybe.
From Ethris, an undergrounder. Is the Panzer shield invulnerable from the front, or simply high damage?
Well, the Panzer shield is a little tricky. It's kind of meant to be a damage sponge in the sense that the Panzer blocks the hallway and keeps the guys behind it protected, but the shield itself doesn't add more hit points or anything to your ship. It does turn on the, well, you'll remember it from the old Descent, perhaps, the energy converter. So your ship will automatically, while the shield is deployed, turn excess energy into shield points. So it's kind of recharging itself as it goes.
It's a tank.
It's the only ship that can do it for itself.
Right, so. and it's great for clearing the way and having down hallways. If maybe you're trying to get somebody that's heavily damaged, but carrying a large amount of fills, back to your ship, it can absorb the damage and get you through.
And the Panzer is pretty beefy in the hit point department already.
It sure is.
So.
Yeah, but the one thing about the Panzer is, do we have, Mike? Do you have the Panzer anywhere? The Panzer animation over there by any chance?
I don't have that.
All right, the first time we did the Panzer animation where it bulks up, it gets all bulky, and the shield comes out, but it covered the camera. So the first time we ran it, wow, this is really cool. It went whoop, right over the HUD, and you can't see anything. So now we're in debate about whether it's going to be transparent aluminum, Captain, or it's going to be like we're going to cut away or something, because you got to be able to see. We want to see actually it deploy.
Yes.
And there needs to be some limitations while it's deployed, but at the same time, you got to be able to see where you're going.
It might have a slightly narrower field of view if we cut a window of transparent aluminum.
Transparent aluminum! Computer! Anyway, sorry for you who've seen Star Trek 4. Where do you keep the nuclear vessels? All right.
This is why we don't do live shows.
Yeah, from Def Flux, the undergrounder. Do you have plans for a public playable demo like in previous Descent games? And if so, approximately when? Well, so yes, we do.
We've thought about it.
The when part is undetermined at this point. We still, it's a little ways out there.
Yeah, not yet, certainly, but
we've actually been a lot of the original Descent. If you recall, it really spread like they had a shareware version, and it really spread on like the ATI cards back in the day and NVIDIA. So, it's very appealing to us to maybe get like a small shareware or demo idea, being that maybe we ship with some of the cards with a level or two, and maybe a Nerf ship for us to shoot. But yeah, we would like to do that because we think that a lot of people don't know what a 6 Degree of Freedom game is, and it'd be nice for them to kind of try it out and see what it's about and how it's actually not vomit inducing all the time.
Well, I was gonna say, unless you looked at that demo that Jason was doing, in which case it was totally.
So the win is still TBD.
Yes.
Probably not soon, but we've got some early access stuff coming up. We've got other things going on. One of the things you do when you do those kind of deals is it's got to be super polished, super ready, because that's a shot. You get one shot to show people your best. So you want those people to convert and come over and become regular players and have all the ships and everything. So that's probably a ways down the road. From Wilster 419, will there be some way to port the classic campaigns to Descent Underground without getting copyrighted? Copywrecked. Yeah, he said copywrecked.
We can't. But
you can.
What you do in the privacy of your own home
and share with your friends.
It's none of my business.
None of our business. We are supplying some mod tools.
At least the pieces.
Yeah, so that's not really something we can do, but at least not at this point. We've been in discussions for a while, and we'll continue to discuss things, but it's not nothing's imminent at this point. So, oh, Hefe has a question. What is Derek Smart's opinion on Descent Underground?
Don't we have an interview to do?
Well, I think it's time for an interview for. Yeah, we don't really know, and don't want to know. Let's get to our interview today. If I can, where's my questions and answers? Do I not have questions?
Live show.
It is a live show. Oh, you know what? It's under the cake.
Oh, good place for it.
Yeah, of course it is. All right, let's get to Ben. Let's see if Ben's there. All right, Ben. Let's see. All right, let's see. Are you there?
Just go ahead and dial in.
All right, I'm gonna dial in.
I'm waiting.
Are we doing video dial today?
Here we go.
Okay, this is Ben Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Ben Jones.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Hello.
Hi.
Go full screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full screen, Michael. Thank you. Can you confirm for the audience we've never ever met or talked before?
That is correct. I do not know you or recognize your face.
You are one lucky man. So we do the show, Ben, and we're doing. I'm gonna look at the camera here. Which one are we looking at, Mike, or both? I can look at either one. I'm looking at this camera, but I'm talking to you over here. So we do a show, and we're all space game junkies, obviously. And you guys have done Into the Stars. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you guys are doing, and let everybody know.
Yeah, cool. So our team's called Fugitive Games. We formed a little over a year ago. We're a new team to the indie space, but all of us have spent over 10 years apiece in the AAA space, making all kinds of games. And we really came together because a couple of reasons. One, we're really passionate about the genre, and we wanted to do something different within it, give players a really unique experience. And we felt that this was a perfect opportunity to do so. So we left our corporate jobs and pulled up roots and decided to go live the dream. So that's what we've been doing for the past year. And the game Into the Stars itself is we kind of pitch it as the ultimate captain experience. We really wanted players to be rooted in the captain's chair as they're the command. Essentially, they're the commander of this massive ship that they're taking across the universe with the dregs of humanity in hopes of finding a new home for humanity where they can populate and sustain our species, because we're constantly under attack by an alien force called the Scorn.
So why is it always the dregs of humanity? It can't ever be. Let's take a look. I'm going to show a video. I'm going to keep you on here, but I'm going to show a video from. You guys are just in Steam early release, right?
Yeah, we did an early access release a week ago.
Cool. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to go full screen.
Well, and I can kind of tell you why it's the dregs of humanity. You're the last ship leaving your home planet, so the best and the brightest have already gone. So you're what's left, essentially. Which
wait a minute.
Yeah, which you kind of got a ragtag crew and everything else, so you kind of have to make do. It's not the best of the best, but they get better over time. With your guidance and help. So that's what it's all about.
Well, it looks beautiful. It's a very good looking ship.
Awesome, thank you.
Now, is this more turn-based? Is it real-time?
It's real-time. All of it's real-time. There are some turn-based elements, but it's a single-player real-time game. You've got complete control over your ship. It's not just point and click or set a waypoint and then go make coffee and have lunch and come back and maybe you're halfway there. It's a really different interpretation of space. It's very dense, and we wanted to give players the opportunity to really bounce between points of interest, every couple of minutes. So in 1 minute I'm on a planet, and another minute I'm investigating a derelict ship, and the next minute I'm mining a gas cloud. So there's always things that you can be doing as a player to keep you interested. And then on top of that, you've got a ship with 10,000 civilians on board, and they create a lot of different problems. So as a captain, you'll be delegating your different crew members to handle those in parallel.
Very cool. So did you ever read Rendezvous with Rama by any chance? Or it looks a little...
Ooh, I haven't. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's a similar ship that I don't want to tell you. You have to read it. I'm not gonna give
right,
no spoilers.
No
spoilers.
So you're like the captain of 10,000 people going to find another home for humanity.
Correct.
That's pretty cool.
Now you're on Steam. It looks like, right? How's that going?
Yes.
Just last week. How's it going? Can people still get in?
Yeah, absolutely. It's early access, so anybody with Steam, that's comfortable in playing on Windows can jump in the game right now. We're constantly adding features. We actually just released a patch a couple days after release that put in a bunch of new content and addressed some issues that people were having. So we're very active in that regard. We're working on another big patch right now. So it's going to be an ongoing process for us. We've got a great foothold. It's just about building it out from there and working with the community to make something that takes it from great to really, really special. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now.
Yeah, it's a different model. You guys were at DICE, right? A lot of you guys.
Yeah, the three of us were at DICE, as it was our last destination before we jumped off to do this.
I'm a huge fan of DICE.
That's a different world entirely.
No, it is. Well, it's like us.
Yeah.
We were all of us here were on Star Citizen or CIG, so we were on the big ship Lollipop, and now we're We're doing the Well,
now you're on the medium ship lollipop.
No, I would even say
now we're the very small ship lollipop.
Ship lollipop. Yeah, right. But it's the same thing. So, what games did you work on at DICE? What did you guys do when you were there?
The last one we were working on was Battlefield 4. Myself and our project architect Mark were both lead designers onto the expansion packs for Battlefield 4, and our art director Alden also had a heavy hand in a lot of those in terms of crafting the environments and really bringing those to life. So that's what we were working on, right at the end before we jumped ship, which was a great experience. But this is something different entirely.
Are you still in Sweden then?
No, we all worked at DICE LA.
Okay.
Yeah, I went over to Sweden. It's a little cold for me there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
not right now, but most of the year.
right now it's for the next 8 days it's amazing.
Yeah. 8 days only.
Great place. It's just I don't have that many coats, so it's not really for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, DICE is amazing, and the game itself looks great. Now you guys did a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We did a Kickstarter in January of last year, or this year. I'm confused. Yes. This year.
Listen, I know those things.
We spend our lives like that.
Well, what day is it?
Now, is there a landing page? Is there a place for people to go to find out more about the game other than Steam?
Yeah, definitely. You can go to fugitive-games.com to check it out, or just jump on our Twitter, which is /Fugitive Games. You can find all the information that you want there. And of course, if you just do a search on Steam for Into the Stars, you'll be able to quickly find the game and a ton of different media and content there. We're always populating that with new stuff, so definitely worth checking out.
And how do you find working with the community? It's a different, invigorating experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we have some experience with it in the past. I'd say when it's truly your own game, it's a very different experience. But so far it's been great. Even from hour one, they were making really, really excellent suggestions or reinforcing concepts that we're like, okay, yeah, that's really cool. We'll do that later. And they're like, no, you really need to do this now. We're like, oh, okay, all right, we'll do that now. So I mean, it's a balancing act. Obviously, you can't do everything, and you really have to look at it from a complete perspective and make sure the needs of the community also match up with the needs of development, and you guys are pushing together in the same direction. But it's been great so far. We've got some really, really strong and great voices in our community that are helping us to make the game better, which is what we're all about.
That's how it grows. I mean, it's that's kind of why we want to do things like this, because we don't have the EA behind us doing this big marketing anymore. But I always look at the crowdfunding things more of a united artists kind of thing, where all of us need to get together and support each other, and because great games. Look, I was at EA at Origin. Rob was at EA, and you obviously were at EA, and so we've all been in the big ship, right? And it's fantastic. It was fine for what we did, but at the same time, you sort of have these things. Wouldn't it be cool if? And now we can do that, but we still have to support each other, because getting the message out there, that's what EA does well.
Yeah, well, and they've got the budgets to do it. I think for us, it's very different, and I love efforts like you guys have undertaken here. I think this stuff is great because we have now a number of different channels as independent developers that we can pursue, and it's what's been fascinating to watch, even from a AAA perspective, is how streaming video has really changed the landscape. And not only empowered individual gamers to tell their own stories, but really to share your game with the world and get people excited about it from a marketing perspective. So, for us, it's been really cool to interface with a lot of streamers as well, and people like yourselves who have these kind of shows. I think it's really important that we all support each other, because there are a lot of great games out there. And sometimes it's hard to dig through all the chaff to really find what's great. And if we can use tools like these to message ourselves and other games and let people know about them and get them excited about it, there's an opportunity for the cream to really rise to the top there.
When we were tracking, we track where people come from to the site, and where especially during the Kickstarter and everything, we were shocked to find that people don't go to the traditional gaming sites anymore as much as we thought they would. I mean, most of the traffic would come from streamers or from Twitch or from YouTubers and my kids. I have two children, 16 and 12. They're both boys, and they obviously play games. Clearly, in fact, the 16-year-old works here in the office. He's supposed to text me. He's getting his license today, but I haven't seen the thing yet. So, but they get all their information about games from those shows. You know, Angry Joe, Scott Manley, PewDiePie, all those people. They don't even go to the traditional sites anymore. And so you're right. And I think for our end of things, it's very important for us to pivot and support those kind of things. You know, even if they may not necessarily be kind to your product or whatever, it's still getting the word out there.
You know, oh, go ahead. I was just going to say that. I mean, I think in terms of the media, it's always been about trust, right? And you know, especially in mass media, you've seen a lot of turnover over the years. You know, people are coming and going. They're at this place, they're at that place. Right. You know, and it's hard for. It used to be about, oh, I'm really dedicated to this one outlet. You know, it's brand. Like, oh, like GameSpot has been great to me over the years. They've never led me astray. You know, whatever. Like, and it seems like. Not that it's gone, but it seems like that trust is kind of eroded or at least shifted over time to where now, you know, people are more focused on individuals, you know, whether it's a PewDiePie or Scott Manley, whatever. I mean, any of these people, like, people come to trust those people inherently. You know, it's like, oh, I can see him play. Mm-hmm. That's the other element that I think is fascinating. Is it kind of pulls back the curtain a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, I read this guy's review, but it doesn't anywhere say in here that he played the game for 20 minutes. Oh, you know what I mean?
We know that. I mean, I think I got into it one time with a GameSpot. I got an 8.5 on Conquest Frontier Wars. And I was upset. I wanted a 9 or higher. And I read the guy's review. He actually did a pretty good job on the review, but clearly he didn't play like some of the more key features. And you're right. If you can physically see, and that's a different thing. I mean, I grew up, I never watched other people play, but now it's important to watch how they play, what they're doing, why is this interesting to them, and it may open up other avenues for us to go, hey, you know, we really need to put some effort into making this fun in that area because they're there. Because gamers will play your game how they want to play it, not how you expect them to play it.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the crazy thing, and I think that's what's exciting for us is that, you know, despite like, you know, going to a lot of friends and family and having the game in QA for months and like going through all these passes, when it's finally out there in the wild, it's a very, very different beast. It's, you know, it's exciting and terrifying all at once. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, people are going to play the game in ways that you never really expected. But what's great about that is sometimes their own journey can lead you to kind of shift your efforts, saying, yeah, actually, you know what? That's really interesting. We should explore that a little bit further.
Help that along a little bit, yeah.
100%. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for joining us. It's been amazing. We're definitely supporters of your product.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out.
We're gonna check it out, and we'll go. I'll go get it on Steam right now. Actually,
there we go.
I like the early access, and probably I'd like to talk to you offline about that experience because we're considering that as well. So.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Like any questions you guys have, be happy to answer it. And thank you so much for having us. And yeah, if, you know, your audience wants to check it out, definitely go take a look at Into the Stars and Steam Early Access right now.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Pleasure to meet you. I look forward to having a beer with you sometime.
Sounds good, guys. Hopefully I'll be in Austin soon. Take care.
All right, awesome. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.
What a great guy. That was awesome.
Very, very nice.
You know, but that's so important. That's why you have to. That's why we as independent developers, and that's what we all are. There's a lot of people stepping out there taking risks, and a lot of us have been educated by the larger publishers, and so we know what we're doing. We can get out there and make these games, and now it's like, but we want to go directly to the fans. And what's really impressive to me is how knowledgeable the fans are these days. Because for a long time, the marketing people were always like, oh, you'll never be able to make that game, and they won't expect, it's too buggy, you can't do that. Yes, you can if you explain what you're doing and you let them in on the process and why it's this way. They're just as good about this as anybody else, and in fact, they're better because they're going to play the game the way they want, which is what you need information on. So thank you very much, Ben, for joining us. That was awesome. We're big fans of the project. Into the Stars is the game. Go check it out on Steam Early Release. We certainly will, and we'll have him on again, checking up later on how it does. And I'm gonna mine his brain for how those things, how he's working out there. So that's really good. And thanks to Keith for setting that up. Keith really set that up, and that's important. We're gonna be reaching out. We'll be reaching out to Todd and Gordon pretty soon on Crowfall as well. So look forward to that. So coming up this week at Descendent Studios, well, we didn't do DescendantCon. We kind of went on that because we've got to make this game. We've got bug squashing, map building, a lot of that's going on. Working still on the HUD, the ships. The HUD looks really good, by the way. Smitty's done a really good job of that.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, you might want to have him on the show again. Maybe give a little HUD walk.
Maybe so.
There'll be a T-shirt challenge coming up. Look for more from Keith on that. And as we can't really do the T-shirt challenge because right now the T-shirts are in that room over there.
Yeah, so we win the challenge. Because we have been seeing
we'll get a free
T-shirt more than anybody else.
Those T-shirts will be going out some today and all next week. So, and we're about 5 months ahead of the last company we're at on these T-shirt things. So we're way ahead of the game there. So we have live stream coming up in the next few weeks. We'll show you more of the first playable. We really want to get you guys in there playing the map. And we want to get some of these bugs squashed. Like we show you the bugs. The missiles can't do this, and the ship can't be spinning around. We'll play some new and old Descent. And our new web store is launching, where we'll have only 4 packages, pledge packages, and then we'll have 3 upgrades between. We'll simplify it, and then pretty much everything's going to be more of an add-on type thing, so people can customize their packages. And so and we'll announce when that's going to happen. So all the old packages will go away. So people, if they really are looking to get that,
you will have some warning.
You will have some warning. Yes. Thanks to our underground members. Without you guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do shows like this. And
aren't you glad we do?
Yeah, probably not. We probably just lost a lot of undergrounders today. For that, sorry about that. Thank you to our backers and pledgers. Without you guys, there is no us. Subscribe to our YouTube and Twitter feeds and find out what's going on when it happens. We always turn the videos on quickly before that happens. If you missed the show or you're just joining late, we'll have this up on YouTube a little later today. This is, as we've said, a live version.
So you can watch it a bunch of times.
Yeah, and we pity. You know, you might want to watch it in the bathroom, get a computer, put it in there while you're sitting on the john, and this might actually help you move things along a little quicker. Because it's so full of that
Nothing is motivating.
Yeah, nothing is more motivating than the crap we're doing here. So, and it helps you get the crap out there. Submit your forum feedback questions on our forums. It's really, it's important that we want to know what you guys are thinking and how it goes. We do read the forums a lot. Some of the questions we may not want to answer on air. I'll answer those in the thing there, so that we'll do that. And that's kind of what's going on. Is there anything I'm missing, Michael?
No, I think you got it all.
Well, I've got something here about 3 billion. Oh, you know what else? If you get a chance, people, check out the images of Pluto. Those are badass. They just came out. We just did a flyby of Pluto. Checked it out. It's a pretty interesting thing. I think Mike did a thing on it last week. So check that out online. And, it would be kind of nice eventually for us to maybe go to Pluto. We'll see. Where are we going to see him, Rob? Underground.